What if one foldable could replace both your phone and your tablet here with the Oppo Find N5? This phone launched in February 2025, so it's now past the one-year mark. Rumors about its successor, the Find N6, are already circulating, and from what I've heard, those point to some significant upgrades. I haven't dug deep into the leaks yet, but the N5 itself delivered real innovation when it arrived. Its clearest rival remains the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. I like both phones for different reasons. Both are extremely thin and take a modern approach to the foldable form factor. Technically, the Z Fold 7 is a hair thinner, but in real-world use the difference is negligible whether the devices are closed or open. The biggest practical distinction for me is the camera module. The N5 uses a circular design that sits relatively flat, so the phone doesn't rock much when laid on a table. The Z Fold 7's module protrudes more and sits off-center, which makes the phone wobble noticeably. That won't be a deal breaker for most people, but the contrast is obvious side by side. Software experience will probably decide the purchase for a lot of buyers. Both run Android, yet the skins and ecosystems feel different. If you're already invested in Samsung services, the Z Fold 7 makes sense. If you've used Oppo before or simply prefer ColorOS, the Find N5 is the more natural fit. This isn't meant to be a head-to-head comparison, but I have the Z Fold 7 here, so the differences are easy to show. Even with all the attention the Samsung receives, the N5's hardware stays very competitive. It's still an excellent device. One of the best things about current foldables is that the outer display is genuinely usable as a primary screen. The N5 feels like a normal smartphone when closed. You barely notice there's a full inner panel waiting inside. The cover display measures 6.62 inches with a tall 20.65:9 aspect ratio. It's an LTPO OLED running at 120 Hz with a sharp 431 ppi. Viewing angles are excellent and the panel looks bright and smooth. The corners are more rounded than the near rectangular outer screen on the Z Fold 7, and there's a bit of extra material on the hinge side, but it's purely a visual difference and doesn't hurt usability. The front-facing camera is 8 megapixels. Open the phone and you get an 8.12-inch foldable LTPO OLED that also runs at 120 Hz with a 412 ppi density. The aspect ratio is roughly 1.1:1, essentially square, and the screen-to-body ratio hits 90.4% with very thin bezels. An 8-megapixel punch-hole camera sits in the upper right corner. This inner panel turns the phone into a pocket tablet, and the whole package stays impressively thin when unfolded. The ways you can use that large canvas feel almost limitless. Storage is fixed at 512 gigabytes with no microSD expansion. Wireless charging reaches 50 W with a compatible charger. Security is handled by a fast, responsive side-mounted fingerprint sensor, one of the best I've used in this placement, plus face unlock, so you have multiple convenient options. Build quality is premium throughout. The back has a distinctive marble-like finish that resists fingerprints and has held up well. A physical mute slider is a rare and welcome feature on a foldable. Most competitors lack one. Volume buttons are extremely thin, yet still tactile and reliable. Up top, you'll find a speaker, microphone, and IR blaster. On the bottom are additional microphones, the SIM tray, another speaker, and a USB-C port that occupies almost the entire thickness of that half of the phone. The engineering required to keep the device this slim, while still fitting a usable port, is impressive. The camera system is a triple setup: 50-megapixel main, 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and 50-megapixel 3x periscope telephoto. In the camera app, you switch between 1x, ultra-wide, and the 3x lens with a tap. Because it's a foldable, you can also flip the phone and shoot high-quality selfies with the main or ultra-wide sensors, something slab phones can't match as easily. Still photos look sharp and detailed with natural brightness. Video tops out at 4K on both front and rear cameras. Flagship-level results are the norm here. Under the hood sits 16 gigabytes of RAM paired with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, so performance and efficiency stay at the top of the class. The 5,600 mAh battery supports up to 80 W wired charging, giving solid all-day stamina and quick top-ups. So should you buy the Find N5 in 2026? It depends on whether you need the absolute newest foldable or would rather spend less. Used and refurbished units are widely available at lower prices and still deliver excellent hardware. If you prefer the latest and greatest, the incoming Find N6 will bring the next round of upgrades. Either way, the N5 remains a highly capable phone that pushed Oppo's foldable game forward in a meaningful way. It's a device I'll remember for a long time. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and let me know what you think of the Oppo Find N5 in the comments. Thanks for so much watching, guys. See you next time.